Our today's topic, Uniform Civil Code. Let's start. The preamble of Indian Constitution states that India is secular democratic republic, and thereby it means that the states does not endorse any specific religion. A secular state is one which shall not discriminate against anyone on the ground of religion. The Indian Constitution also contains article mandating equality and non-discrimination on the ground of sex, Articles 14 to 18. However, several laws exist that apparently violate these principles and continue to be there, especially in personal law of certain communities, which contains provision are deemed to be highly discriminatory against women. Women who make nearly half of India continue to demand for a gender justice code to enjoy equality and justice irrespective of the community to which they belong. However, the ideal of uniform civil code is yet to be achieved in India, since the uniform civil code was politically sensitive issue. The founding father of constitution arrived a compromise by placing it under Article 44 as the directive principle of the state policy. As India strives for gender equality, a close examination of the Uniform Civil Code for the country is necessary. What is Uniform Civil Code? Article 44 of the Directive Principle of the State's Policy states that it is the duty of the state to secure uniform civil code for the citizens throughout the country. It mainly aims to replace personal law based on the scriptures and customs of each major religious community in India with common set of rules government every citizen. Uniform in UCC signifies uniformity of law between communities, uniformity of law within communities, ensuring equality between the right of man and woman. What are the efforts toward Uniform Civil Code in India? Special Marriage Act 1954. The Special Marriage Act of 1954 provides for civil marriage for any citizen irrespective of religion, thus permitting any Indians to have their marriage outside the boundaries of any religious personal law. Shah Bano case 1985. In this case, Shah Bano was refused her claim for maintenance. The Supreme Court ruled in her favor under Section 125 of Code of Civil Criminal Procedure (CRPC), which applied to all citizens the order for maintenance of wives, children, and parents. The Supreme Court further recommended that the long pending Uniform Civil Code should be finally enacted. The Supreme Court also called on the government to implement the Uniform Civil Code in the 1995 Sarla Mudugal judgment as well as in the Paulo Contino versus Maria Luisa Valentina Pereira in 2019. What are the arguments in favor of Uniform Civil Code? Accommodating the aspiration of the youth as the world transitions into the digital age. The social attitude and aspiration of the young population is shaping by universal and global principle of equality, humanity, and modernity. Thus, the enactment of Uniform Civil Code will help in utilizing their full potential toward nation building. Support national integration. The Constitution guarantees all citizens equal treatment in court of law, whether it is criminal law or other civil laws, except personal law. Thus, the implementation of Uniform Civil Code will grant equal set of personal law to all, resulting in the end of politicization of issue of the discrimination of concession or on other hand exceptional benefit appreciated by specific community on the basis of their specific religious personal law. The rise above the patriarchal mindset, the existing personal law of most religions are based upon the upper class patriarchal notions of the society. Thus, the codification and implementation of uniform civil code will destroy the sanctity of patriarchal orthodox. Thus, the uniform civil code will promote gender equality and will bring both men and women at par. Convenient for judicial process. There exist many personal law, including Hindu code, Sharia law, etc. The presence of so many law lead of confusion, complexity, and inconsistencies in adjudication of personal matter, sometimes resulting in delayed or incomplete justice. Uniform Civil Code will help the judiciary deliver justice efficiently and within reasonable time frame. What are the argument against Uniform Civil Code? 21st Law Commission's report. The Law Commission of India has opined that a uniform civil code is neither necessary nor desirable to reconcile conflict in personal family law. It stated that many countries are now moving towards recognition of differences, and the mere existence of difference does not imply discrimination but is indicative of robust democracy. Therefore, the Commission has suggested amendments to existing family law to tackle discrimination and inequality in personal law rather than do away with differences between them altogether. Against cultural diversity in India, practical difficulties due to diversity in India. It is difficult to come up with a uniform set of rules for personal issues like marriage due to the tremendous diverse culture in India across the religions, sects, castes, and etc. Endorsement on religious freedom, Article 25 to 28 of Indian Constitution, provide that right to freedom of religion. The Uniform Civil Code is viewed as a threat to religious freedom, Article 25, by many communities, especially the minority communities. According to them, the Uniform Civil Code will neglect their traditions and impose rules which will be mainly influenced by majority religious community against the indigenous rights of tribes. The Naga community has claimed that the implementation of Uniform Civil Code would bring about clear trouble for their culture and dignity. It can potentially cause social disorder as the personal and social life of tribes are quite distinct from the rest of people in the country. Last conclusion. The goal of a uniform civil code should ideally be reached in piecemeal manner through a brick by brick approach rather than an omnibus approach. A just code is far more important than a uniform code. There is a need to consider social adaptability of UCC while forming a blueprint for uniform civil code. Whether a single law is framed for all religions or reform are made to our personal law, they should be based on gender justice and ensure that the principle of equality enshrined in our constitution remains intact. The, the bottom line is that the government and society need to build trust in order to proceed toward a uniform civil society that respects human rights and promotes gender equality that hold more importance than a uniform civil code. Thank you so much.